You are listening to Best in Seattle Real Estate with host Tina Mitchell, MLO 145420. This podcast is for real estate agents. Tina interviews the best of the best agents in the greater Seattle market. Learn strategies and the mindset needed to be your best. If you're looking to take your real estate business to the next level, this show is for you.
Welcome to Best in Seattle Real Estate Podcast, sponsored by Hubbard Radio Seattle. I am your host and local mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell. My show is with real estate agents for real estate agents. My lineup is exclusive and reserved for the best of the best in the greater Seattle real estate market based on closed transactions in the last 12 months. If you are a real estate agent looking to level up your game, you are in the right place. My guest today is here to share what she has learned over the years that has taken her to the top in the real estate field. Now in studio, Kari Haas of Windermere, Bellevue Commons, Kari Haas Real Estate Team. Kari has closed 50 transactions in the last 12 months, and that earns her the title of industry leader, and she's here to share today her secrets for success. Data provided and verified by MMI, Mobility Market Intelligence. Kari, thank you again so much for joining me on the show this morning.
Thanks so much for having me, Tina. It's always a pleasure to speak with you.
Yeah, likewise. And I would also like to give a big shout out and thanks to my producer over at Hubbard Radio, Benny.
Hey there,
Thank
Tina.
you.
Hi. And spring showers bring May flowers, doesn't it?
You know, you always have something special to say and appropriate. Absolutely, it does. And Benny is the best producer ever. I could not do this without him. So thanks again, Benny. Big shout out to you.
You're quite welcome. Thank you.
And before we get started, I would like to share a little bit about Kari. Kari exudes a passion for real estate that carries through to every client, whether a buyer or a seller or both. Kari's business practices are steeped in philosophy of commitment, honesty, integrity, and excellence while loving her clients and developing a strong team to produce the best results. Prior to becoming a managing broker, Kari owned a marketing graphic design firm. 10 years ago, Kari brought her leadership and attention to detail along with her negotiation and marketing expertise to the real estate industry, often exceeding client expectations and rising to the top producing agent in her office and in Washington and the entire nation. And that's why I have Kari here this morning. So again, Kari, thank you again. Just really honored to have you on the show and to know you outside of the show as well. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I don't know if I can call myself the top producing agent all over the nation.
Well, you are in the top
do,
1%, right?
I am.
Or top half percent.
I am.
Yeah. So that makes you, go ahead. What was that, Kari?
I tend to do a good amount of business, yes.
Yes, you do. And her stats, she is in the top 1, sometimes top 0.5% in the entire nation. So she is an industry leader for sure, based on the number of deals that she closes. And that's really what this show is about, because we all are experts and leaders in our space with our passion and what we do. But the number of people that you're actually helping, that's what really makes you an industry leader. And that's what this show is. So you can motivate and inspire other agents. So Kari, let's go ahead and first start out with majority of your business and where that comes from and how you foster those relationships.
Well, actually, almost all of my business, I would say 99.9% of my business is referral based. So it's either somebody I know or somebody who knows somebody that I know or that's worked with me in the past. I don't do any of those lead generation companies or any of those sorts of places to find leads. I don't chase leads. I have people who are, excited to work with me. And so I always have a constant flow of clients because of that. So how I do that is I do what I love. The things that I care about, I get involved in those. I'm a big volunteer in many different parts of our community. And I also get involved in the things that I care about and, go to events and have a lot of face time with the people that are in my sphere, um, and that's how I really build my business. And then once, once the people are in my sphere and we're flowing together, well, then I always do what I say I'm going to do. And that's really important to me, to show up and genuinely care and be there and be the knowledgeable person in the room. And people, can trust me, and they know that they're going to get what I say I'm going to do.
Yeah, and that's great.
Mhm.
Carrie, I've said this before, you can either stalk the cold or you can court the warm. And there's industry leaders that are stalking the cold for sure. But it's what you enjoy doing. And courting the warm is exactly what I enjoy doing as well. But courting the warm is having a high touch follow up and follow through plan. And Carrie does a lot of that. And I'm actually privileged that I actually get to be in that. I see everything that Carrie does, the newsletters that come out on a monthly basis. And there's always something of value that she that you can go purchase and get something free that Kari invests in. She has her client events, which are spectacular. So you do have to put resources, time, and money into fostering those relationships, because otherwise they could be waste relationships and they're going to end up working with someone else. Is that correct, Kari?
Yes, absolutely. You just need to stay in flow with your people,
Yeah,
and be knowledgeable when they have questions,
absolutely.
and be there to answer, and be there to help them, regardless. I mean, sometimes you don't make any money and sometimes you make quite a bit. It's all about helping people. So,
Yeah, and I love that, staying in the flow. So if you're listening to the show today, that's a great thing to make note of. Staying in the flow with your clients. You've worked hard for them. Let's continue to foster those relationships, and that's why Kari is successful working with her clients. So, what life experience brought you into the industry, Kari?
well, I've always been obsessed with real estate. So I had my marketing company and graphic design firm. And so that really gives me a lot of education to fall back on to help this. But I've always been really obsessed with real estate. And so um, that's really, you know, how I got here. Um, but the marketing is a key piece
Yeah.
of the business, and that really helps you stay in flow. And marketing, a lot of people do social media, and a lot of people are tending that way. And I've heard that um, you know people don't do a lot of snail mail nowadays, but I think snail mail is just really important.
I
And
agree. I'm so glad that you brought that out, Kari, because you don't have to be successful doing everything. You will be successful doing one thing and being consistent. And I actually think that the snail mail is the way to go, because they're not getting as much. There's a lot of people that you see massive likes on things that they're putting out in social media, but you know what type of business that they're doing and they're not making the numbers. So, not to say you can't be successful on social media, you absolutely can. But you just need to pick something that works for you and know that you have to be persistent and consistent and follow up and follow through in that high touch. And I love snail mail because people are not doing it as much, which is going to allow you to stand out. So if you want to take your business to the next level, following what the top agents are doing, just mirror what they're doing. You will be successful in your business as well, right, Kari?
right. It does cost more money to do snail mail,
Yeah.
but I get a lot of comments, and people keep it and they refer back to it, and I hear about it all the time. And then the other piece of snail mail that is important that you touched on was that I send out a circle of friends cards to my people every 2 months, giving them a free item. They don't have to purchase anything. They can walk into the store and get a free item, and then they feel like they got a gift.
Yeah.
And it's a nice way to bring the community in. And also, it's helpful to the clients to learn about a new business. It's helpful to the business to get new clients, and
Yes.
it's just a win-win for everybody. And that's what I love: win-wins for everybody.
I love win-wins. If you need a great resource for snail mail, feel free to reach out to me. But I use Mailbox Power, very inexpensive for snail mail, and great quality as well. Kari, who do you use for your snail mail?
I have a marketing department that takes
Okay,
care of that for
there you
me.
go. Reach out to me because Mailbox Power will do it all for you. Some of you won't have an entire team like Kari does, and that's okay. All right.
You know
So
what? Mailbox Power is wonderful and they do a great job. So I support that as well.
thank you so much, Kari. Yeah, you can do unlimited, and there's no cost for unlimited outside of postage. So
You
pretty
know,
reasonable.
because I'm a marketing person, I have somebody who facilitates all of my marketing for me that we work very closely together to do
Yeah.
that. So
I love that, Kari. All right, coming up next on Best in Seattle Real Estate Podcast, continued conversation with Kari Haas of Windermere Bellevue Commons, Kari Haas Real Estate Team.
So, have you ever had a buyer's mortgage decline in the middle of closing? Most lenders do not pre-underwrite loans. They require a purchase and sale contract before an underwriter reviews the loan. This can cause stress for all parties involved. Highlands Residential Mortgage does pre-underwrite. In addition, Tina Mitchell, MLO 145420, offers a personal $10,000 seller financing guarantee. This insurance policy to the seller and is not subject to the buyer's ability to secure financing. If the buyer's loan is declined and the financing cannot be secured, Tina personally pays the seller $10,000. This guarantee is only subject to the seller or property issues. Your buyers will stand out next to their competition. For more information, go to tinamitchellteam.com. That's tinamitchellteam.com.
Welcome back to Best in Seattle Real Estate Podcast, sponsored by Hubbard Radio Seattle. I'm your host and local mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell. Continued conversation with Kari Haas of Windermere Bellevue Commons, Kari Haas Real Estate Team. Are you a real estate agent looking for that one thing to take your business to new heights? Kari is here to motivate you to be your best. You will learn what she is doing and how you can implement her best practices into your business. Today, Kari is sharing her strategies and mindset needed to be the best in the industry. Kari is here to inspire other real estate agents to level up their real estate game. Kari, thank you again for being here today.
thanks for having me, Tina.
So, what one popular piece of advice do you disagree with and why? Or what is one popular piece of advice that you have implemented and why it helped you in your real estate practice, Kari?
Well, I think when you get into the real estate business, a lot of times they tell you to specialize in an area. And so people stay in their little area where they live or pick a couple of places where they farm, which is fine and good and a good place to start. But I don't think you need to stay in your area. I think with the world the way it is online today, that you can really branch out and be known in more than just one little place. And I think that's an important thing. And we already touched on snail mail, which is another thing people say that you don't really need to do anymore, but you really do. It's really very important. Even if it does go in the garbage, they see it.
Yes.
But my stuff doesn't go in the garbage because it gives them value. And so if you're sending something of value, they do keep it. At the beginning of COVID, I had sent around a postcard with all of the different phases and things to be on the lookout. People kept that on their fridge for a couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those things are really important.
Yeah, and Dave will bring your newsletter or your market information. He'll have something highlighted and circle it and bring it over to me because he gets our mail, so he sees everything first, and so it's kind of cute. But definitely being able to and going to your mailbox and having something and just seeing it and holding it is much different than all of the noise that you're getting on social media. So,
and then
go ahead.
the things that they say that you should do that are super important are FaceTime. You need to be with people. Text
Great.
is one thing, phone calling is okay, but you need to be in the same room with your sphere, with your people, doing the same things that they care about and that you care about. and that they can see you as a genuine person and that you're there when the questions come up and that you are first in mind when those questions come up.
Face to face, belly to belly. And this is what's great about our technology time is people are stepping away from the things that take a little bit more time, which allows us that do it to level up and to be seen in a different way than everyone else or majority are, because they're just taking the easy way with social media. And on text, doing audio text is really great. Doing video market update, so they're seeing you on video, all are great things as well. But getting in person and in face-to-face, nothing can compete with it, especially what's happening now.
And I don't just mean with your sphere to get the clients, but once you have the clients and you're working with them, once you find the house or once you've got the listing, you still need to see your people. You still need to show up. You need to be there for the inspection. You need to be there for the signing. You need to be there when they need you.
And Kari is there for every single one of our signings. And I don't know any of my other real estate partners that do that. It's pretty impressive. So Kari, we've got just a couple minutes left and I want to just ask you one more question. What hard choice you had to make to get where you're at today in business?
You know, the hard thing for me was getting over the fact that I wasn't going to do it all myself. It takes a number of different personalities to do this job really well. And it took me getting over needing to get a professional stager and a professional photographer and somebody to do transaction coordination and somebody to do the things that are not in my personality, the best use of what I do. Yes. So it's always best, for me, if I can do what I do best and if I can hire somebody to do what they do best and have them complement my business, that helps my clients more. And it's really more economical in the long run. It sounds like it's going to cost a lot more money, but the truth is it helps you do better in the long run because you can do what you're best at and maximize that.
What a great way to end the show. Absolutely. Embrace your strengths and hire out your weaknesses. Do what you are great at. Do what your job is to do, is to build the business. Let the team take care of your business. And that includes your personal things. Do not be doing your own taxes and bookkeeping. Get somebody else to do that. Invest in yourself so that your business is going to thrive because of that. Kari, thank you again for being on my show.
My pleasure. It's always wonderful to be here with you, Tina.
Thank you. So to watch the video recording of Kari or other industry leaders in the real estate space, go to Best in Seattle Real Estate, or you can catch my show on YouTube, of course, all the podcast channels as well. Tina Mitchell, your host and local mortgage expert. Until next time.
Tina Mitchell, MLO 145420, is a licensed loan originator with Highlands Residential Mortgage Limited. The views expressed by the speakers on the preceding program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of Highlands Residential Mortgage Limited, nor are they necessarily endorsed by Highlands Residential Mortgage Limited.